and welcome back to Coffee and Chaos. Hi, Steph.
Hi.
How are you, babe?
Good. How are you?
Good. Let me see your tat.
Oh, I can't really show you.
Ow.
I'm gonna move all of this.
It looks like it hurt. It looks like it
Yeah,
hurt.
it did hurt a little.
It's getting bigger and bigger
Not a
every
little.
time.
It hurt a lot.
Did you put the numbing cream on?
Yeah, but with shading, it doesn't really work.
It doesn't?
No. So once your skin gets opened up, it's over.
Oh.
So like it works like a charm with line work, like when they're just doing the outline. But once they start the shading, you're fucked.
Got it.
Yeah.
Solomon.
So I was crying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh, somebody calling me?
Yeah, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Even though we've been going like every week, I still haven't seen you because we were on a little hiatus.
Yeah, you doing your thing. I get it. I get it.
So today we brought two very important people.
Thank you.
Brought Roman.
He's like, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Mr. Roman Brick from Local 13.
Hello, welcome.
Yes. Mr. Steve Linares from previously 13 and now 63.
Hello.
Welcome.
And for those of you that don't know, I was Local 13. I'm Local 63.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then beautiful Steph is Local 63A, OCU clerks.
Mm-hmm.
So we are all union members.
Nice.
How do we all feel about that? Blue collar workers.
There you
Today, I don't feel so great about it, but
Why is that?
because of my company.
Yeah, because they're OCU, whatever, they're part of, because you guys don't negotiate as a whole like we do.
So
you guys negotiate.
Yeah,
individually.
it's kind of confusing. So we do, in a sense, negotiate as a whole because we kind of want to have the same playing field. Because I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the shipping companies are talking to each other.
Oh,
they kind of,
definitely.
they are all coming to the
Yeah.
table with the same verbiage.
Oh, yeah.
All of that. So,
That's a given.
yeah. So we do negotiate our own contracts. So each office does have a different contract. And that's the only hard part. But nothing is solidified till every single office is done negotiating. So we're holding up everyone right now.
Well, I'm a big both my daughter went to college and got her degree. My son's in college and will graduate next May. So I'm all for college, 100%.
Yeah.
I did not go to college. I'm a blue collar worker, but I'm 100% all about blue collar workers.
Right.
Pipe fitters, plumbers, what we do. Like people think you have to go to college, you have to get that degree, but then you come home and you're paying all this money and you're getting a job that isn't worth the college that you just went and paid for.
I know
Right.
so many people in that situation.
And I'm not
many.
against college. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've sent my kids, they're going, and I'm paying it and we're doing all that. But I am very proud to have been a blue collar worker and a union member since I was 23.
In our generation, all our fathers and mothers were union people, especially in the harbor area.
Yeah.
And we followed their footsteps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we always said we want our kids to be better than us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, my son's, I'm sorry to say, well, I'm happy to say, he's going to the military March 11th.
Marines.
Okay.
He's going to be a Marine.
Wow.
And that has
Go
to be
for it.
hard though too.
It's
Especially right now in
oh,
today's time.
It's crazy hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he told me one day I'm going to Marines, and he signed up. And for him to be the only son, and for me to let him go because I raised him by myself since he was 6 years old, and he's 20 now. It's a big department. I mean, departure.
Yeah.
It's a huge departure.
Did he want to be a longshoreman at all?
Honestly, no.
Oh.
Honestly, no. He told me I was going to give him the casual card process, and he goes, "Dad, I don't want it."
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm going to become a Marine," and that was in high school.
Wow.
Well, that's crazy because you guys know Joey Rodriguez.
Mhm.
He's a crane driver now.
Right.
He's on nights. He studied at 100.
Mhm.
So I've grown up with Joey. Joey's parents and my parents grew up together. But Joey would tell us, like in junior, I'm going to be a crane driver like my dad. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. I was like, what's that? You're so dumb. Like, right? But Joey had it like stuck in his head. And I would make fun of him. We would laugh at him, right? If he wasn't lying, because and to see him doing it, it is such a legacy for him. Like, and not only does he do it, he's damn good at it. And he's proud of it. But I look back now because I was one of the ones that would make fun of him, like, you're dumb. What is that? Because when we were young, it wasn't as big as it is now.
No.
So I had no clue what it was.
Right.
And now I'm down there and I'm like, yeah, Joey, get it. Like, and it's such an it's such an honor to be down there. I feel like our Castaneda family grew up down there. We were down there growing up with you heard it constantly around you. Mm-hmm. So for me, it is great. And the reason we're here today is we give back to the community.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
And people don't hear that part about us, right? Yeah. They don't hear the good that the union does. So I will let you guys take over this part about, let's start with the toy drive, and one of you could take it.
Most definitely. I'll take that part. First, I want to say I'm also a third generation longshoreman, and my grandfather, Julio Salas, was the first longshoreman in our family.
Nice.
So every day that I work, I keep him in mind, and I do a good job because of it.
Yeah.
I really want to make him proud, even though he's not even here.
Isn't that something so important to us? But I work every
day to make him proud.
People forget that. We are holding our name high, right?
Absolutely.
People down there, not down there, I think as a whole and as today as a society, even kids, if you're a nurse or a doctor, people don't have that pride anymore. No. But down there, we have such pride.
Yeah, the reason why we started our motorcycle club is to be what it says. We're the IOW Longshore Brotherhood. And that's what we've lost is the brotherhood part. Yes. So it means a lot to us. It's not just a patch.
Yeah.
But we're trying to bring that back.
Don't get it misconstrued. Brotherhood means the women in it.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask that.
Like, can I be in this?
Because we talked about motorcycles.
I ride motorcycles.
Well,
so
you're more than welcome.
You're more than welcome.
Steph's going to let me get on the back of our motorcycle. Remember we said that?
Yeah.
No, we had some little feedback about it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say little women. I was like,
we had a little feedback because when we brought it out.
I'll start the OCU chapter.
Well, anyway. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
I think the women are tougher than the men. We got two ladies that are pretty tough.
We had a little feedback because of the name, because they wanted to join. They had motorcycles that women in the union, and we're like, well, it means a general statement.
Yes.
That we've always been brought up in our generation, brotherhood. That's what our union forefathers used to say.
And whether people like it or not, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
The union was based solely on men.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I'm very proud to be part of that.
Right.
I'm not one of those women down there trying to say, I'm a woman, it needs to be changed to longshore woman. Absolutely not. I'm a longshoreman.
Right.
And that's it.
Period.
I'm not trying to change it. I'm so grateful that I've been able to be a part of that.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, and you had to go through it to be part of it.
Thank you, Harry Bridges.
And that is
the women that are in the IOW longshoremen. They're tough.
The first
the lashing test, and they have to do work. They have to go up on that ship.
And when I came in 1997, they were not nice to us, and that's a whole other. And you were one of them.
I'm sorry.
I believe it.
I'm sorry. I was brought up that way.
So I feel like I've earned that. I've earned the longshore men.
Yeah.
I don't want to be associated as a woman. Like, this is just who we are. Yeah. I've earned it, and I'm part of it.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm sorry for interrupting you, but go ahead.
No, but we had feedback, and we tried to explain the brotherhood means a general statement. It's not something that only men. And we do have ladies that are in our club that sit in positions.
They hold position.
Yeah. So we're not ashamed to say we have women riding with us. And we're a riding club. We're not an MC.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a difference.
Yeah.
You're not Sons of Anarchy?
No.
Do you have anybody that looks like him?
No, but we met him.
You don't have nobody that looks like Jack?
No. Not yet. Soon. We'll get it just
I'll
so you
can when you find that one.
But anyway, we meanwhile back at the ranch try to get away from that. But I was sitting around one night, and it was during Christmas time about 3 years ago. And I see this toy drive that they have in another city. So I call up Roman and I say, hey, Roman, let's do a toy drive. And he's like, all right. And then we had another partner that founded this group, Christian. So we called him. So he said, all right. So we kind of all got together and, okay, let's do it. And we're all sitting there trying to figure out how to do it because we never did it before. Mm-hmm. And we only had, 2 months?
Almost less than 2 months, like about now, like November.
Oh, wow.
So we had November and December.
Yeah. So we decided to get our group together and just try to do it. And that first year, we just asked all our friends, all our buddies, everybody we knew in the whole community, we're doing this. Can we get a donation? Get a donation. And the first year, how much money we got?
About $10,000.
Oh,
Yeah, just by going to local businesses,
yeah.
telling them what we want to do, and they just came alongside of us.
Yeah.
And then last year we raised 20 grand.
Really?
We
Yeah.
gave 350 bicycles and over 500 toys.
Who do these bicycles and toys, who do they go to?
We work at the Boys and Girls Club,
Okay.
the LA Harbor.
Okay.
So, and this year it's going to be the Wilmington Boys and Girls Club, Harbor City Boys and Girls Club, and San Pedro Boys and Girls Club. So we get that whole area. But we're excited that we're going to give tickets for toys and bikes to our casuals.
Wow.
Because there's been no work, and you know how
there
hard it
hasn't
is.
been.
Casuals are not
Do you
working.
want to, in
No.
a real quick thing, explain what a casual is so people
Okay,
that don't know what that
a
is?
casual is a part-time worker that's only called to work when there's not enough people to fill the jobs on a daily basis. But I'm a local 13 ID, so we're there every single day, checking in, trying to get a job. And when there's too many jobs that we can't fill, then it goes to the casual hall. And like you were
They're
talking
on
about
standby.
college,
Yeah.
I did 14 years at the casual hall.
Yeah.
Oh, so my
My brother
sister
did
did 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
8,400 hours when
Yeah.
I got in.
And you guys were troopers because
Yes.
we were very fortunate. Thank the good Lord. We didn't.
It's all timing.
It is all timing.
It's all
Well,
timing.
wait a minute. I wasn't fortunate when I came in.
How many
Okay,
years
as
did
a
you do?
casual. I came in when it first opened up in 1984.
Oh, okay.
Me and my brother Froggy, that passed away, may he rest in peace.
Froggy.
We became casual workers in '81 from the unemployment office,
Okay.
and we used to have a K card, what you call a K card, and you would give it to the unemployment office, and they would give you your job.
Yeah.
And then what happened was, and no disrespect to an unemployment office, they would call their friends and say, "Hey, I got a longshoreman job," and give it to them
Shaping
before
up
it
just
came
like
out.
the old days. Same thing.
Yeah.
Shaping up. Yep.
So the union got together and said, we want to open up a casual hall and let our members sponsor somebody to go in the casual hall. So my number was H156. I was 156th person in that letter to get a casual.
I was D4045.
See?
What were
Yeah.
you?
J4804.
So it progressed into that. But they tell you, don't depend on this work. This is just overflow from what we get.
And
But
that's what a casual is.
That's what a
They
casual
take the
is.
overflow of the work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the best way to
So they could work once a week. They could work once a month. They could work once every 6 months. They could work 5 times a week, like
Right.
during COVID time, right? When it was
Right.
super busy.
right.
They were working
and
a lot.
the new IDs that just came in, some of them were only casuals 2.5 years.
And again, it's all timing, right?
Timing.
That's it.
Bless their souls.
Yeah.
The good Lord just was like, here
And
you
we
go.
worked through COVID.
Yes.
when
Oh.
no one would leave the house.
Oh.
I remember coming in the back door, and I would literally strip.
Especially in the very
we didn't
beginning.
know.
Yes.
We had no one had a clue. So I would literally strip in the back of my house, and my wife would stand there with the Lysol can and spray me.
Really?
I was
Then I
one
would
of them
go
too.
straight to the
Yeah.
shower, take a shower, and then come out, and I was like, okay, I'm home now.
Yeah.
Because now I work inside because I'm a vessel planner.
Uh-huh.
So I don't go outside, but we do touch the paperwork that the people on the ship touch.
Yeah.
And I remember they came in and said, "Don't touch the paperwork anymore. Everything's email." Like it was like oh my
Nobody
God.
knew.
No, but they
Nobody
freaked
knew.
out and we had to start doing emails
Yeah.
instead of giving them paperwork and all that stuff. It was crazy.
And we kept moving cargo.
Yep.
And
We
we
did.
kept the
We
world
had
moving.
a night shift, a day shift.
Yes.
They had to split everyone up. So half the office came during the day and then the other half came at night.
I had to laugh.
that way it wasn't like
Yeah.
we were all sitting on top of each other. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
some offices even went as far to put like barriers in between
The
I heard that.
plexiglass.
each
Yeah.
in between each desk.
Yeah.
I had to laugh when Biden said, remember when Biden came out there? You guys can work, go ahead, work 24 hours now. And I was like, homie, we've been
doing it.
we've done that for 20 something
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't tell us anything different. We've been working nonstop. And people were working day and night to catch up on those ships.
Yeah.
But the
I
good
was
thing
working
that
twice a week, day side, night side.
the
Mhm.
good thing about it is that we still was united.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, we still protect each other.
Yes.
We still, looked out for each other. we didn't have that bickering and fighting.
Yeah.
You know, it was all, let's get the job done and let's be safe.
Yeah.
You know, and that was, I think that's the best thing that came out of the whole thing with us, that we still became united and we still took care of each other. And that's what our union's about, taking care of each other.
Like you said, it's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It really is.
And we're fortunate to do what we do and love what we do and financially be stable in what we do.
Yeah.
So me coming from a family of 9 with a single mom, my dad passed away in 65 and I was only 4 years old. And having her raise us, we didn't have the stuff we wanted. You know, we got what she gave us and God bless her and she raised us all. And that's why I thought we need to give back.
Yeah.
I need to give back.
So do you guys remember when all of those kids were getting separated from their families at the border and they took them to the convention center?
Right.
So in my office, I didn't know it was going to spread across my entire union. But in my office, I started a toy drive, book drive, everything to get because all these kids were just like destitute at a place they had never been.
Right.
Sleeping on a cot.
Sleeping on a cot with a bunch of people around them. Most of them didn't even speak English. So they had to get interpreters to come in. So I started a fund to get either money or toys or books in my office. And then people started texting everyone at other offices.
Well, that's awesome.
So I ended up with 5 truckloads of stuff for these kids at the convention center. It was so, I was like tripping out because I really thought that it was just going to be like my office. And I had texted a friend that works at Evergreen, and she had everyone bringing stuff, and then she would just deliver it to my house for like an entire month. I was just getting stuff delivered to my house randomly for these kids. But these kids they hadn't gotten anything.
Were you able to take it and drop it all off and everything?
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
It was so sweet. And I was still even after they were gone, I was still getting stuff. So then I just started taking them to, like, there's a shelter in Orange County off of Los Al for girls that are women and babies that are come from abuse.
Domestic violence.
Yeah, domestic violence. So I was just taking this stuff there.
That's awesome.
But I was thinking,
So let me ask you a person. How did you feel when you were doing it? When you saw those
I
kids?
love doing stuff like
I know.
that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like I get emotional.
Yeah. Tears.
I mean, being a 62-year-old man, nothing better in the world to see a kid.
I know. Did you see that?
Yeah.
You try to sneak that in.
Damn viejo.
Yeah.
Anyway. But to see a kid smile because they get this little toy that they never had.
Yeah.
And what we do.
They're so grateful for it.
What we do is we don't let the parent come into the place where you have the toys.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first year we did it, we had the parents say, "Oh, pick that toy." No, mommy, I want that toy.
Yeah.
We had little kids that wanted a doll or anything else.
Yeah.
The parents were like, "Take the bike," because they know money.
Yeah.
But kids just want what
Greedy.
they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want what they want. They see something they like, they want it.
Yeah.
So you were saying the casuals are getting what? They're getting.
We're going to give them, because we print out tickets.
Okay.
And it'll say either toy or bike on it.
Oh.
So we're going to give tickets to the casuals this year, which we're excited about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Now, when I was a casual, we had a casual Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch of casuals. We got together because I have my own business too.
Okay.
On top of everything else that I do, I run my own company. So some of us work regular jobs, not just casual, right? Because you have to.
You
have
have
a family,
to.
you have no choice.
Mhm.
You can't just depend on one day a week or not working that week. You have to provide. So the ones of us that had a job, we said, you know what? It was like the times that they are now, really tough.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a casual Christmas. We had a casual Christmas.
That's awesome.
And it was amazing. We had Santa Claus, Grinch.
How cool.
It was the funnest day ever.
Yeah.
So when Steve called me, I was like,
Let's do this.
I'm already with you.
Yeah.
I'm already in. I've done it before.
So
do they know about this yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we
I was
That's
gonna
so
say, what if
publicizing
people
everything.
want to contribute or donate or do like, what would
Yeah.
they do? Like, if
Okay.
they watch this, because this will come out on Thursday, this following Thursday, which will be before Christmas, obviously.
Well, they can contact anyone from the Brotherhood, myself, Steve, or even go on our Instagram, Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, we have all that. So anywhere you can get a hold of us,
Yeah.
we'll take everything. I just picked up a bicycle today.
Oh, really?
So some lady just seen on Instagram. She's like, I want to donate a bike. Can you meet me?
Oh, wow.
She's in a
That's
motorcycle
awesome.
club.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
So on
Rowdy
December,
riders. Rowdy riders.
Rowdy riders.
They're all women.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
go women.
Yeah.
On December 2nd, at the Boys and Girls Club on Harbor Boulevard
In San Pedro.
in San
100
Pedro,
West 5th Street.
we are having a toy drop-off.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
We decided to go bigger than what we did the last 2 years. So if we're gonna go big, we're gonna go big.
Yeah.
So we hooked up with the Boys and Girls Club. We hooked up with Happy Diner, which is a cafe in Pedro.
Which
Everyone's
their
favorite.
food is delicious.
Everyone's favorite.
That is like my spot.
Two
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
diners and a happy deli.
Yeah.
Keep you
I
happy.
go to the
Yeah,
one,
and they
I go
keep
to the
me
one
happy.
by Home Depot.
Yeah.
I
And the
lo-
owner's name is Roman, so you
Oh, is it?
gotta love that. That makes me like him.
Yeah,
even more.
I love their
Yeah.
place. I go there all. I get the chilaquiles.
So
Yeah. Bomb.
we have that. We're going to have we're up to, I think, 17 vendors selling their stuff from everything from 20 now. Okay.
Pop up.
Cookies,
Wow.
everything, soap. I own my own company, a brodering company. We're going to have hats and shirts there. So there's going to be a lot. And then we're going to have some car clubs there, some motorcycle clubs there. And we're going to have bands playing. They're
Now,
donating
is
their
this on
time.
the day of the drop off?
This is on the day of the
So
December
this
drop.
is on the day of the drop off.
Yeah.
December 2nd. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we have live bands, DJs,
And we talked about our friend Wayne Moore.
Yeah, right.
His band will be there.
down the hatch.
Yep.
Down ahead. Well, we got 3 of the most popular bands in Pedro. And they said, we went up and talked to them and said, look, all this is donated. And they go, okay, it's for
Same
the
thing,
kids.
They want to give back.
They want to give back
Doing
to the
it for
kids.
free.
So we have
Oh,
Down
that's
the
awesome.
Hatch, which is Wayne Moore's band.
And he is a union member. He is
Right.
Local 94,
Yeah,
Foreman's
94.
Union.
We have In Contempt that just jumped on right now. They say, you doing it for the kids? We're in.
Yeah.
So we got In Contempt and we got The Floaters, which is 80% of the band, their parents are longshoremen's
Wow.
or mechanic.
Cool.
Nice.
So
They were the hit of Bloody Thursday.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you guys will like them if you
Yeah.
come
Good.
out.
Yeah.
I'll be
You'll love
there.
it.
Yeah, big time.
Try to
You
get
would
there,
love it.
Steph.
Yeah.
So we had TVs donated now.
Oh.
We have 2 70-inch TVs, Roman.
I don't know what size. But
Yeah,
two
they're
big
b-
screen TVs.
Big screen TV.
So if you bring a toy or a bicycle, you get a free raffle ticket.
Oh,
Remember the
that's
big screen
awesome.
TV?
yeah.
Wow.
That'll definitely bring a lot more people.
And then
out
we have
for
a lot
sure.
of giveaways from California Harley Davidson.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
They're
decided to
with
jump in
us.
with us.
Nice.
So, something that we thought about to give back, there's some really good people out there. You just
Yeah.
got to knock on their doors and say, hey,
Mhm.
we're here.
And like you found out,
Yeah. I
You
found
do
out
good.
real fast.
you do good, people get
Yeah.
alongside you and they want
Yeah.
to be part of it.
It
Yeah.
was
And then
so
it just
cool.
blows up and a lot of people want to do good, but they have no avenue.
No
They
avenue.
don't know.
Yeah.
I want to give money. I want to help, but where?
Yeah.
Well, we're
And then
giving
it's
them that
also hard who to
opportunity.
trust with it, right?
Yeah.
Like people will say, "Oh, give it
Absolutely.
to me," but then they don't do what they say, and then you find out later, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing too.
Well,
That's why people
just
don't like
disgusting.
GoFundMe and the other one
Yes.
because they take a percentage.
Yes.
We have absolutely zero overhead. Every dollar goes to a toy or a bike.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
And
So-
we only take donations. Like we don't, like if let's say the band said, "Well, I need $500." Well, sorry, we don't need you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You'll find
we would
someone
just
else.
say, "Well, I
This
hope
is because
next
it's
year
for the
maybe-"
kids.
Yeah,
Right.
we even have a security company that's coming on board just to donate security guards to walk around to keep it safe.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
awesome. Because that is a lot of bikes and stuff, and what's going on in today's society. You never know.
Yeah.
You have to be safe.
Well, we feel like we're better security anyway.
Yeah.
That's just-
I wouldn't take a bike from you.
Have you guys come across the problem yet, though, with too many kids and not enough toys?
No.
No,
matter of fact,
actually, last year at the end of our giveaway, we had about 75 bikes left, and we went to Yes We Can because the ILWU as a union, they'd have Yes We Can.
Okay.
And they provide toys and stuff for the kids in the Wilmington and same areas.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it's a IOWU event.
Oh, okay.
So we rolled up on our bikes and we
Had all
brought
these
75
toys?
bicycles and like 100 toys.
Okay,
It
good.
was
Because it's
awesome.
always very sad when it's the opposite, right? When you
Oh, yeah.
have
Oh,
too many
absolutely.
kids and not enough toys.
That's sad.
Yeah, this year we're trying to focus on the older kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Christmas, you always think about the little kids.
Yes.
The ones from infant to 8 or 9. Yeah, it's easier to forget a toy. But it's a kid from 10 to 17, they're kind of like overlooked.
Especially
They
from
are
15
big
to
time.
17.
But what
And
do you
the
get for
younger
them?
kids
Oh,
don't.
I can tell you what
really
we have. We have
No.
Yeah, they really know, but it's easier to buy a gift for them.
Yeah.
It's so easy going to
Yeah.
anywhere and here, Target, here.
And
here's a-
they won't
Yeah.
remember it.
yeah, but it's easier. But for a
Oh,
teenager,
that's so sweet.
Yeah,
That's
what
good
do
to
you?
hear.
Roman was going to tell us,
Okay.
like, what do you
yeah.
have?
Well, we have big beach cruisers.
Oh,
They love beach cruisers.
those are
Big
awesome.
mountain bikes, the big ones.
Oh,
You know.
okay.
And then backpacks with the portable chargers.
Oh,
You know, every kid has an
everybody.
iPhone or whatever.
Yes.
So the portable charger and then an Amazon gift card.
Oh.
You know, everyone
best gift.
buys
Yeah,
Amazon.
it is. It is.
And that's
really
kind of
good.
job security for us because you know where
Yeah.
it's coming from.
Yeah.
Keeps us moving cargo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Amazon has a lot of containers coming off at every.
let me
port.
tell you, I was counting them. It wasn't fun,
Yeah.
They have.
but it's such a rewarding thing for us to do that. I mean, like I said, we have the ability to do it, and everybody in our union does. But
Yeah.
somebody needs to step up and just do it.
Yeah.
And
I'm just so glad to hear that you're doing it for the casuals because they are struggling.
No, absolutely.
I have a buddy that's a casual, and he literally went back to Army Reserves because he can't
You
afford.
have no choice.
He has
Yeah.
no choice.
They're all jumping on regular jobs.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
serving.
right now, are they working like
bartender,
once
whatever they can do
once
just
a
to get
month or
some money.
something?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not even that.
Our
even
casuals,
that.
our casuals aren't working. They're working like maybe 4 times in a month, maybe
Oh,
if they're
wow.
lucky.
Yeah.
That's probably
Unless
better
they
than
get-
the IOW.
See, it's a
casual.
little bit different than your guys' casual
right.
because we get what are called like long-term assignments. So if someone's out on leave or something, one of our casuals will step into that position. So
You get 30 days or something.
so they
Wow.
even longer sometimes. We have a temp that's been with us for 3 years.
Oh wow.
Oh well,
Wow.
ours is just
3
a,
years.
it's a day-to-day
Yeah.
basis.
That's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
Just-
that happens a lot.
Ours just on the 8-hour
Yeah.
shift, and that's it.
Or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
10. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then they get cut, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they go
So
back to the
it's
hall.
not it's
Because
totally
we
different
work
in our
on
union.
like a low man out,
Right.
so
Situation.
we make sure that it all stays even.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes around the alphabet. So everybody has an alphabet, and everybody has a number attached to the alphabet, and you get
Right.
in chronological order, and that's it.
Very confusing.
It is.
But we understand it. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
I try to explain it to people that are not longshoremen. They have no clue. I'm
Yeah.
like, but it's so easy. How come you don't get it?
I remember running to like parking and running because I was running from my other
Oh.
job. What letter is it on? It's on B40, whatever. I'm like, okay, like you know the lingo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know you have time. But if someone's like, they're on D, I'm like, no. And I'm like trying to run into the parking lot.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the toys and stuff, it takes a lot of effort to figure out the toys and the kids. And that's why we give out tickets.
Yeah.
And it keeps the riffraff out too. You know,
Yeah.
we had a lot of people that came the last couple of times that didn't have tickets, but wanted a toy because they belong to the union. You know,
Yeah, we had people that said, "Oh, I'm local 13. I should go first."
No, that's
No.
not what it's for.
You shouldn't go at
Exactly.
all.
Yeah,
You should
exactly.
be giving a toy, not
Yeah.
taking a toy.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
And we told them that straight up.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
With all due respect, please don't be offended by this.
No.
But with the two of you men,
Uh-huh.
it's usually a woman that's very thoughtful in gifts
Mhm.
and put something like this together. Are there any women on board
we have a-
with
Oh,
you
a
guys
lot.
that are
Oh,
helping you
absolutely.
guys
Oh,
with their
yeah.
input?
Yeah, we
Plenty.
couldn't do this without any woman.
Oh,
trust me.
any-
Okay,
Oh.
and I don't mean to say that. It's just having two men to be so thoughtful in gifts, that's usually not.
Well, I think with Roman and I, the thoughtfulness is because of our upbringing.
Okay.
Our
Grow up
upbringing.
poor and don't have anything.
Yeah.
You know what it is to get
Oh,
one toy
yeah.
for
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And to be a father and to raise kids and supply to them and knowing how happy they get
Yeah.
and to see a kid that
It's the
doesn't
best
have it,
feeling.
Mhm.
Mhm.
it hurts
It really does.
as a parent and as a father. It's like,
Mhm.
how come I can't give that kid something?
Yeah.
You know, but I got to worry about my kids. So any way possible I've been a coach, a football coach, softball coach, baseball coach, and so has Roman for years.
Yeah.
And we've seen the wealthy kids and the poor
Mhm.
kids.
And that one gift might be the only good thing they see all year long.
Yep.
And you hope and pray that the parent doesn't take that gift and go get rid of it for money for
Yeah,
whatever
sell
reason.
it, whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
And
I
that's
agree.
the unfortunate part, because I've seen a lot of that. And
Yeah.
that
I,
poor
I grew up
kid
with that. I know. Yeah.
is, so you hope that they get one day of something that, they don't get the rest of the year.
Yeah, but like we said, there's a lot of women behind us. And
I just had to ask. 'Cause,
they do a lot of hard work.
I'm all pro women.
Well, I'm advocate that a woman knows how to spend money wisely.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you were going to just say spend money.
You do not
Wisely.
spend money.
No, you guys know how to spend, but it's something.
Yeah.
Like my wife, I let her, because she's wise financially. Me, I'll go and buy another motorcycle in a minute.
Yeah.
And she'll say,
Hold on,
"What did
hold
you
on.
do?"
But I need it.
Hang on, don't get me in trouble, man.
Yeah, it's like I want another car. I'll go and buy it. But with her,
But that's because growing up, you didn't have that, right?
right,
It's almost like when they say give a kid sugar when they're little, so when they grow up, that's not all they want.
right.
So when you grow up and you don't have certain things, as an adult, you're like, because that's me. I know I'm the sugar kid. We didn't get it as a kid. So now I am a sugar addict. It is so hard for me to not eat cookies,
Yeah.
cakes,
Mhm.
all that stuff.
That's
Yeah.
why longshoremen have 2 trucks, 2 cars, 2 motorcycles, a jet
Mhm.
ski, a boat.
Because
You know,
we didn't
because-
have all that
yeah, you
growing
grow up
up.
No,
poor,
we
you
didn't.
want it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
You want it.
the struggle in life makes you look at other things different, and
Mhm.
that's why I think Roma and I make a good partnership of doing this because we
Yeah.
know where we came from and we know where we want to go.
Yeah.
We want to, next year is going to be even bigger. We're planning bigger things.
And teaming up
Yeah.
with the boys club was the perfect fit because they deal with the kids every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I was a boys club kid. I went to
Aw.
the club every day to play basketball. We
Yeah.
had wood shop, all that stuff. And honestly, it didn't keep me from the streets.
Yeah.
I actually did my thing in the boys club,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it was an avenue that you have.
Yeah.
And they were on the front lines every day.
And if you could help one child, even just one, I know people say that all the time. Oh, if I can get to one kid, but it's actually honestly true.
Absolutely.
If you can get to one kid, it makes a huge difference.
Oh, big difference.
And so do you see more of the union members getting on board with this being the third year?
Yes.
Definitely.
No, not even in our motorcycle group or anything, just regular union members.
And then you have another group too. Do you want to slightly touch on that?
Yeah, that's
union?
Iron Sharpens Iron.
And please explain that.
We're also an ILW fellowship, and it's a Bible study. So once a week, every Tuesday at noon, we do Iron Sharpens Iron at the Memorial Hall, the ILW Longshore.
And
Memorial.
that's been a while that you guys have been doing that,
5
right?
years, yeah.
And is that getting bigger and bigger?
Getting bigger and bigger.
And is that just
doing
men
very
too,
well.
or is it everybody and anybody?
Open to anybody.
That's awesome.
And we actually serve lunch so people can come on their lunch break.
Really?
That's how it started.
Oh.
So guys would meet on their lunch break
Mhm.
and do a Bible study.
Wow.
And it just kept growing and growing and growing.
And
there's
really
women
need
in
that.
there too.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
There's women in there too.
As much
And it's
as
good
I-
food. It's not, when it first started, it was just dry old pizza. You know? Here, have a slice of pizza
have a slice,
and
eat
a
real
soda.
quick, and
You
then
know
go
what I
back
mean?
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like last year, there was, man,
Yeah.
good food, good food.
Good. And you've had that for 5 years. Who started that though?
It was Joshua Munoz.
Mhm.
They call him Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Ungi Lopez,
Mhm.
which is
And he's
now
a
our
pastor,
secretary.
right? He's a pastor
at
now,
Glory
right?
Point Church, yeah.
Mhm.
Christian Abito,
Okay.
Michael Kobos,
hmm
and someone else I'm missing. I don't know who, but
And is your majority of it men though?
no.
Really?
No.
It's half and
it's
half?
half and half.
Oh, that's at the Memorial Hall, right?
Memorial
Right
Hall.
there in Wilmington.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And we have
awesome.
guest pastors that come in.
Oh,
We have
cool.
we have
Wow.
longshoremen that give their testimony. You know, one thing that people don't know, there's a lot of pastors on the waterfront that work on the waterfront.
See,
longshoremen.
that's something you don't hear, right? You
No,
hear a
but
lot of
they're
the
there.
negative. You don't hear a lot of the positive.
And we bring them. We bring them. If I know someone's a pastor, hey man, you're speaking next week.
Oh, really?
They come.
That's awesome.
And it's great. It's awesome.
And we definitely need that down there, more so as the bigger as our union gets. There's a lot of things that have unfortunately happened down there.
Yes.
And for people to know they can go to somebody and have prayer for them, prayer with them, pray over
Absolutely.
them. For me, as everybody I hope knows by now through my podcast, I've never hit it. My faith is everything. Of course, I'm not perfect. Me and Steve get in arguments weekly. And I mean like I've had to kick him out of my office because he drives me crazy.
I'm passionate. Let's just say I'm passionate.
But my faith is like everything.
Well, you know what's so cool is people walk around the waterfront and say how blessed we are.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes from God.
Yeah.
I believe that.
100%.
I believe that.
All of the good things come from God. And
It has to come from somewhere.
everyone believes. Even if they say they don't believe. I mean, even the devil believes in
Mhm.
Jesus. So he knows the truth too.
Yes. And
So-
I think it's not that people don't believe.
Yeah.
It's you're afraid of what you can't see.
Or can't do.
And yes. And so for me as a kid, all the traumatic things I went through in my childhood, my grandfather here and my grandma in Mexico just embedded that in us. So I don't know any different, right? So I was blessed with that. Because I think if I went through all the traumatic things I went through, and then at 25, somebody was like, hey, believe in Jesus, go to church, I'd be like, yeah, right. Where was he all these years, right?
Mhm.
But because it was embedded in me as a
Mhm.
child, I've just never not known anything different. So I understand it's hard for adults because you can't see it. You can't understand it. You need proof, right? It's not because it's on faith alone. And
Faith is believing in things you don't see.
yes. And a lot
That's
of
what
people
faith
can't.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I tell people, and I'm sure they think I'm crazy, I know there's moments, and he doesn't agree with this, and this is an argument. Jesus sometimes is like, girl, I've heard you 10 times a day. I ain't got time for you right now. Like for 1 second, I'm like, no, but this is the last time. And he's like, girl, what? Now what do you need?
Yeah.
You know,
See? I get
I want to say it, but you know, my faith didn't get strong till I was in my 30s and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my faith was very, like you said, you know, where was he? Where was he when I needed him? But the question always came back, where were you?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
What were you doing? Why did you turn your back? He didn't turn his back. You turned your back. So your decisions are your consequences.
Yeah.
You know, and for me to have a near-death experience and actually meet him and come back
Mm-hmm.
put me a whole different spectrum of
That's
life.
a whole nother podcast.
It is.
That's a great story too.
And it is. And I hope one day that you will come back. And even my son, who I don't want to say he lost his faith. We've talked about this, but he did turn his back for a few years. And my son was just like, nope.
Is he
And
back on the train now?
he is. And
Yeah.
but he says his head, his heart, his mind, he's not fully 100% happy all day, every day, because nobody is. It doesn't matter how much faith you have.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have a perfect day. But where he's at today, he can breathe. He couldn't breathe for a few years. I couldn't breathe for him. I tried to get to him. We've talked about this. But today he can breathe. And it's his testimony he's going to have to share one day. But the fact that he's just back there, I'm like,
We might bring
thank
him on
you.
Iron Sharpens Iron.
Oh, and you know, he was a baseball player and he was going to college and the good Lord got his attention. I'm not going to cry. Not going to cry. So anyways, it's his testimony, but he should. And he's on the casual process right now. He's going through the whole thing. And so I'm just glad for that. But like he said, I've never lost my faith, but there's been moments where I've argued with him. When I'm bearing my boyfriend at 23, when I have 2 kids alone at 26. And yes, these are my decisions to have kids, right? It's not, but I've argued with him and I've lost.
Well, I'm actually an ordained pastor.
Really?
And I fought with Jesus myself. I mean, I fought with God, and you know, my brother passed away. He hung himself.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And
That's
it was
very
a tough
sorry.
time. And
Wow.
at that time, I was a youth pastor. I was coaching at San Pedro High, and I'm like, look, I'm doing everything right. What else can I do? and then you take my brother from me.
But people think because you're a Christian or because you have faith or you're biblical, whatever you want to call it, because you believe, they think your life is supposed to be perfect.
No.
And I feel like that's when you hit the biggest challenges.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's when you go through the
And the more
hardest.
you do, the more fights you're going to have.
Look at the poor pastor that just got shot on the corner in Arizona. Did you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
He's in Arizona and he was preaching on the corner and some guy just came up and shot him.
Yeah.
Did you hear it was
No, but I can
it's
imagine.
been all over like social media and stuff. And I'm just thinking like we're coming to a time where we are going to have to start really spreading the word, but deal with the consequences about spreading the word.
Yeah. Well, it's simple. You either go to heaven or hell. There's no in between.
There's no in between.
There's no purgatory. There's no all this stuff that you were taught is wrong. There's heaven. There's hell.
Yeah, I believe.
You don't get a bus stop, okay?
I know. I believe in God. I do not believe in religion. I grew up and going to Christian school, and I just have such a different take on it today.
I agree with you though.
I don't.
It's not about religion.
Yeah,
It's about
100%.
relationship.
Yeah,
It's
Yes,
exactly.
what you just
That's what you have
said.
to
it
remember.
drives
a
religion.
personal relationship with
Literally
Jesus.
drives me nuts.
Yes.
And that's the thing. And growing up in Christian school and in a Christian household, and my dad is the same way. My dad doesn't believe in religion. He believes in a higher power, and that's it. And when I went to Christian school, they were so like, you need to do this.
Or you're going to hell.
If you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you have a baby out of wedlock, you're going to hell. And it's to me, it's just to make someone feel like they're less than because of something that's written down in a book, to me, is wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
I'll just tell you this: the number one commandment, because they asked Jesus himself, "What's the number one commandment?" Love God with your heart, soul, and mind, and your neighbor the same.
yeah,
Amen.
So if whoever's preaching to you or talking to you, if they're not coming with love,
Yes.
Yeah.
they're not from God. That's
Yes.
not the Jesus that I follow.
nope.
And that was a
That's
problem my
important.
son had because my son said, I shouldn't love you because I have 2 children out of wedlock.
Yep.
And I shouldn't love my sissy because she's gay. And I
Yep.
said, hold on. That's not what I taught you. That's not what I raised you. That's what the outside world is teaching you. But he wouldn't
But this
listen.
stuff comes from the Bible.
That's religion.
That's
But-
the
But
thing.
But
Wow.
it said we are
Yeah.
all sinners from the day of birth to the day of death.
It's just
Yeah.
like it's
So-
and no sin is bigger than the next, right?
right. So
Well, that's the other thing. I'm glad you said that it came from the Bible
mhm.
Yeah.
because it probably does, but not in the context that someone's using it.
Right.
with you.
Yeah.
So that's
That's why I
why
was
it's
all,
important to
ugh.
read your Bible so you know, hey, this guy's telling me something that doesn't fit what he's using. Because
Right.
you can make those words say anything you want.
Just like you could misinterpret a text
splicing someone's
message,
words
right?
like that.
Yes.
You know, they could take what we're talking about now and use part of this and part of that.
That, yeah.
A whole different conversation
Yeah.
would come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what people do. And the people that
Mhm.
twist the Bible know it better than the people that say it the way it's written.
So what does it mean when a man should be with a woman?
Well, I mean, that's true. That's 100% true.
It said
But I'm going to still love you. I may not like the sin. and
But
may
why
not-
is
not
that
love
true
what you're
and it's
doing.
not okay for a man to be with a man?
because
or a
we're
woman
not
to be with
we're
a
not
woman?
we're not one to judge.
Yes.
There's only one person that could judge, and that's
Mhm.
God Himself.
And what people forget is one sin is not bigger than the next. So you could have a married couple who's looking at my daughter like, you're going to hell because you're gay. But they're over here having affairs or watching
Exactly,
porn or drinking. And so you're sinning just like
Same
there's
exact
it-
amount.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why you love the sinner.
Mhm.
You don't love the sin. It's different.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying if they're not talking out of love, you can tell right
Yeah.
away.
Mhm.
Right.
You
Well,
know, you
I
know
just
right away.
Yeah, that's
If
that.
someone's condemning you, that's not
Yeah,
love.
growing up in a Christian school and in a Christian church and all of that.
Well, let me tell you, Catholic
turned me
Catholic
off.
school and Catholic, it's the same thing.
Oh yeah, I know.
They
I know a little bit.
they beat us when we were in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Sister
I know.
Dorothea, I still have nightmares about her.
Do you
Yeah.
still feel like though in the back of your head? I know I do. I fight because with myself, because anything I do, because we were taught we were always going to hell, it's always like, oh my God, if I do that, I'm going to hell. Oh my God, if I do that, I'm going to hell. I'm barely learning, like, you know what? Lord loves me. He knows my heart. I'm not going to hell for every little thing that I do
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, let me tell you something, okay?
Here we go.
Stop that. God knows more about tomorrow than you would ever know about
Yes.
yesterday. So He already knows you're going to do all that stuff. So Just say, okay, God, you know.
You got it. Yeah.
You got it. Because
got me and I follow.
yeah. Because he already knows you're going to do it already.
Yes.
So, so you might as well just stop that, okay?
So let's wind this up because we're running out of time.
Okay.
December 2nd
December 2nd
is the toy drive.
toy drop off.
Toy drop off.
And then December 9th is a toy giveaway.
Okay.
That's where we actually give the toys to the kids.
And is that at the Boys and Girls Club?
Same place for both, yeah.
Okay. And
I encourage whoever drops off a toy to come
back on the 9th.
On the 9th and see.
If you guys are available,
Yeah.
you want to give out toys, you're going to love it.
I don't think we touched on exactly how it works. So you give a ticket out, and then when do you give that ticket out? And then on
so
the
this is what we
9th,
do.
they come and pick it up?
We accumulate all the toys on December 2nd. And we figure out what it is. We got separated and everything.
Uh-huh.
And then we join together with the Boys and Girls Club and our committee. And then we figure out how many tickets we need for that.
So if we get 700 toys, we got 700 tickets.
Okay, gotcha.
If we get 400 toys, we got 400 tickets.
Okay.
And then we distribute to the Boys Club and the Casual Hall. Okay, so they know what time. It's going to say what time to be there and everything. And then we have them line up. They cannot come to the facility unless they have a ticket.
do you give them the ticket once they get there that day on the 9th or
before.
previously?
Previously.
Okay.
And then once they give us a ticket, the parents go into one room where they're going to have coffee and donuts and everything. And then we have volunteers from the Boys Club bring them where the toys at, and they let them run around, get what they want, and then they come back to the parents, and then they leave. And we're going to have tents there to sell stuff.
So you're going to separate the parents from the
Right,
kids.
definitely.
And then we have Santa Claus, and we have
Good
the Grinch,
idea.
and we have a lot of cool stuff going on at the same time.
So the kids aren't influenced.
And then we have our
Or the
DJs
adults
playing
aren't
music,
influenced.
and we still have the pop-ups, and you can walk around and shop.
So it's a 2-weekend event that you guys really, and not only is it a 2-weekend event, but you guys put all your time and effort and everything.
We started in June. This is not a 1 month type of thing. We started in June.
And we might have to start earlier than that next year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, my son's birthday is 4 days before Christmas. I start shopping as soon as January hits.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to separate the two.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend that was born on Christmas Day and she hates it.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, it's always been combined.
Yeah.
So my poor son was born 4 days before. Yeah. So I feel you.
But
you have to start early.
It was a lot of hit and miss the first year and the second year. So
You learn every year, right?
Yeah.
You get better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we get better.
Hit and miss as in like you don't get as many donations?
No,
or
donations, or we get over too much donations, and that's how we figured we'll give it to we can.
That seems like a good problem to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem. It's a great problem.
Because at least you can help someone else.
Well, that's why we don't have kids that are waiting without a toy, because we give tickets.
Oh, okay.
So, and then last year, we were actually able to take all the kids that came that didn't have a ticket, and we lined them up. Let's go.
And how do you know, though, who they are or who they're not?
We don't.
We don't.
So if a kid comes and they don't have a ticket and you have gifts over, then just go ahead
getting
and
a toy. Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask a very
I never blame kids.
I'm going to ask a touchy question because I spent a lot of time there when I was younger. The projects are right next to the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
Do you guys get them coming over?
Well, they're Boys Club kids.
But what about the ones that aren't?
They can come too.
Do they come? Have they shown up without parents because they just see or they hear?
Well, last 2 years we were on 13th and Cabrillo.
Oh,
so it's a little bit different.
Okay,
This is our first year down there.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see what happens.
So
most of those kids are
already
kids.
Boys and Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we have it down there now, because when we talking to the Boys and Girls Club, they said that a lot of those kids are from the project,
and they can't sometimes get it right.
13th and
yeah. And that's the heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That's
right.
those ones are the ones that
now
break
they can
my heart.
walk over.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's part of the reason why we're starting it, and it's a bigger facility than 13,
and a bigger parking lot.
Yeah. So it's much. It's better than on 13th Street.
Cool.
And like I said, we're there to help the least fortunate kids.
I lived in those projects for a while.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was homeless, I went and lived with one of my buddies, and
I spent way too much time down there.
And I was
Way
in
too
A lot of
high.
bad
I was
memories,
junior
a
high,
lot of
high
good
school at that
memories.
time, too.
A lot of good memories, a lot of bad memories.
Well, let's hear them.
I just hung out there for fun.
I haven't been back since. That's where Javier got killed. We're in those projects, and haven't been back since then. And I don't want to go back. And it has nothing to. It wasn't even a person that lived there that did it.
Right.
But up until that point, I had all positive memories there. Right. But for me personally, it's really hard to go down there. But he grew up down there. I saw that he came from absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't broke. He was poor. His family was poor.
There's a difference. Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
a huge difference.
Absolutely.
And he tried so hard to get out. And I just don't think it was ever going to happen. And the good Lord just said, come, it's time to come home. And he went home. But I see it. So to hear you guys do this for those kids that don't have that, it is amazing. And that's really why I want
that feeling that you're getting is the same feeling that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like those kids, because I have so many friends that live down there, because I was always down there seeing, those kids and I don't care what anybody says. Oh, they choose that life. No, they don't.
No.
Those kids do not choose that.
No way. How?
Yeah.
Anyone that says that, how could they even think that?
Because there's a lot of ignorant people.
Because kids don't support themselves when they're that age. So they're there because they were born into that.
But and then
most
once
of them
you're born,
can't be kids. They have to.
Yes,
and they
disgusting.
They have to make dinner at.
Well, I was going to say he had to support his mom and help pay. Yeah. So, thank you guys.
But when they get older, they come up to us. Hey, I remember you gave me my toy.
Oh yeah.
And
that's good.
What a good feeling.
And the fact that our union does that, because you hear that name, for me, that is so huge, because the public doesn't look sometimes at the ILWU as a positive.
No.
It's looked at as a negative. So for me, this is something positive that you guys are doing for these kids. That's going to...
You guys, I think we're all family.
Well,
you guys.
But you two are the ones that were actually...
Well, all we doing is just leading. You guys are following us. And that's what we want.
The guys that are driving their cars are longshoremen. The guys that are coming on their motorcycles are longshoremen.
It's all a family. It's all
the guys that own businesses in San Pedro are longshoremen, and they're coming alongside of us.
And they're bringing stuff. Yeah.
And even non-longshoremen people.
We got the Teamsters coming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Teamsters are coming. I remember you said that. Good.
And we got motorcycle. I mean, we got a Christian motorcycle coming. A Black Sheep's coming. They're going to be the Santa Claus and the Miss Santa, and they got and they're going to take pictures. I mean, it's just a good feeling knowing that just humans being humans.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't
especially
need to
right
fight.
now, because the world is so ugly right now.
We don't need to fight.
Yeah.
We don't need to fight. We don't need to be mad at each other.
No.
What we need to do is need to come together and help. Like they say, it takes a village to raise a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're trying to help that village.
Yeah.
And, we're lucky and blessed to do this. And we couldn't do it without you guys. We couldn't. And I want to thank you guys for letting us go on here and telling us.
Well, as soon as I told Steph, she was like, yes, let's do this. Like,
because you guys are helping us. Mm-hmm. So you're part of our family now. You're giving us the push to keep on going.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have that push, we would have died last year and said, forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are back for other topics.
Definitely.
Yep, thank you.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it will. Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Right.
We don't celebrate Thanksgiving. We won't get into that. We celebrate a day of just being grateful for what the Lord gave us.
That's right.
Obviously, my ancestors, we don't celebrate that. It's a whole different topic.
Neither does mine.
But
we don't celebrate us being murdered.
But I hope you guys have a great day on Thursday with your family. You, Steph. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Please follow us on YouTube, subscribe, like, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and spread this. Give it to all your peeps when you guys get it. Thank you so much.
Maybe you'll get even more this year.
Yes, hopefully you will.
We're praying on it. The good Lord's going to bless us.
Yeah.
He blessed us already, but he's going to bless us more.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Solomon.
Bye, Solomon.